Hello student, today we will solve some practice questions. In this question 1, we have a velocity time graph. Which velocity time graph shows a uniform retardation? Let us give this graph first, second and third. We will try to read each graph. In this graph first, we can observe a line is parallel to time axis. Okay. As this line on velocity, we can clearly say the velocity is not increasing, it is constant as it is parallel to time axis. Correct? Velocity is fixed at 4 meter per second, as you can see. If line is parallel to time axis, we can also conclude that object has constant velocity. That means velocity is not changing with respect to time. Neither it is increasing or decreasing. Always whenever the line is parallel to x-axis or time axis, we will conclude that object has constant velocity. If an object has constant velocity, what does it mean? It means object has uniform motion. Now student, what do you mean by object has constant velocity? We can either say object do not have any acceleration, because acceleration develops when velocity changes, and here the velocity is not changing. In this graph second, in second, what you can observe? We can observe this line is making angle with time axis. Let us give this name angle theta. Now observe, if line is making angle with time axis, what does this angle mean? Student, when an object makes angle with time axis or x-axis, this is known as slope. Let us observe the direction of this slope. Okay, this direction can be read as the anti-clockwise. Okay, angle is making in the anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction gives the idea that this slope is positive. When angle is making in anti-clockwise direction, that means slope is positive. If slope is positive, what does we conclude that slope is positive? Slope positive means object have increasing velocity. That means velocity of object increasing if we have slope positive. Okay. If object's velocity is increasing, that means it has acceleration, student. Okay, as we all know, when the changes of velocity take place, it has a acceleration. Now as the slope is positive, that means acceleration is positive, or we can say it is a positive acceleration. That means second graph shows the graph of object which has positive acceleration. Now in third graph, the line is also making angle with the time axis, but this time this angle is in opposite direction, or we can say the direction of angle is clockwise. Okay, when the angle is in clockwise direction, that means we have a slope, but this time this slope is opposite to previous one. That means now we have a slope negative. And what does the negative slope means? negative slope, that means object is decreasing its velocity with respect to time. Okay, when an object decreasing its velocity, it's also referred as object has negative acceleration. Let me write decreasing velocity. Decreasing velocity also means that object has negative acceleration. So in other words, we can also write negative of acceleration. And negative acceleration means retardation. So just read the question. Which graph shows the uniform retardation? The graph third shows the uniform retardation. We can also read as first graph shows acceleration is equal to 0. The graph when the object has 0 acceleration. Second graph shows object has positive acceleration, and third graph shows object has negative acceleration. Now in question second, distance traveled against the time. The graph over there, distance and time axis is given. A graph is like a curve. Now we all know that student, ratio of distance is to time gives us the speed. So by this finding the ratio of distance and time, we can find the speed of an object. Here I am showing the speed as v. Okay, now just take different point on this graph. Try to draw a line by the each points. Let me start from first point. I am drawing a line parallel to time axis. This will gives the idea of slope of each point. Okay, so I am drawing the line parallel to time axis from the first point. Then I'll take it at another point. Let us take some distance. This one will be better. Let us try to draw another line which is parallel to previous one and to the parallel to time axis. Now let us take one more point. Here try to draw a line parallel to previous one. See, we have drawn 3 parallel lines. Okay, at each point the ratio between distance and time gives us the idea of speed at this point. And if we find the angle between these 3 points, let us draw the angle from first point. You can see the angle is in anti-clockwise direction. That means it gives the positive slope, and positive slope means positive velocity or speed. Okay, here distance and time are there, so we will have speed. Okay, so we will have 3 different speeds. Let us give the name V1, V2 and V3. Okay, what we can observe? By observation only we can see these 3 angles are not equal in magnitude. They are unequal. So we can write that V1 is greater than V2, little bit greater, and V2 is little bit greater than V3. We can also say write like V1 is not equal to V2 and V2 is not equal to V3. When velocity or speed of an objects are different, that means we can say the velocity or speed is not constant or not uniform. Correct? When an object do not have non-uniform velocity or speed, that means object is having non-uniform motion. So what does this graph meant for? This graph shows the non-uniform motion of an object. Okay, so when an object travel non-uniformly, it will develop a curve, not a straight line. Okay, now in question number 3, the path covered from A to C is called. Just observe the path between the A to C. A to C is joining by a straight line. If there are straight line between 2 points, then this straight line is called displacement. Okay, so what kind of path between A to C? Basically it is a displacement. Let us observe some more by this question. Here if we find AB and BC, when AB and BC join together, this is called distance. Why? Because object is changing its direction by traveling. Okay, when an object changes its direction or it is not moving in a straight line, so this length of path is called distance. Okay, and if an object do not change its direction during traveling or it moves in a straight line only, so it has called displacement. Now AB and BC together can be read as distance and AC can be read as displacement. Okay, although they both having the same sense. Okay, now if we find the magnitude of displacement, so it is 5 meter, but magnitude of distance, it will become 4 plus 3, that is 7 meter. Okay, now what we can conclude? It is here, it is some points that we remind about the distance and displacement. It is to be noted, student, that distance, let me write full, distance of an object can be greater than displacement. Okay, why? Because length of path can be greater than the straight line or straight path. So distance can greater than displacement. It may happen that distance of an object and displacement of an object both have an equal magnitude. When it will happen? When object do not change its direction, so distance and displacement both are equal in magnitude. But it will never happen that distance traveled by the object will less than the magnitude of displacement traveled by the object, because displacement is the shortest length of path. Okay, so student, these point we need to remember. Okay, this will help us solving so many questions. This is very important term, student, that distance can never less than the displacement. Okay, now solving next question. If an object moves through C and B and reaches A, okay, through C and B it reaches from A, so let us understand from where it has started its journey. In this graph, O is over there. Let us suppose this is the initial point of journey started. Okay, so let me write O as a initial point or a point where a journey started. Okay, through O an object travel through C, then B, and then reaches to the point A. Correct? Through C, then B, B to A. At it reaches to A. After reaching at A, it turn back, okay, and then reaches to C through B. Okay, so distance traveled from O to A is 60 kilometer as it is shown over here. So we can write the length of OC, but length of OA should be written over there. After reaching at A, it changes direction and moves back along the same path and reaches C through B, reaches to C. Okay, so length of AC will be added up to our initial length. Okay, so what will be the length from A to C? We can measure by, it will not count as 25, we have to measure it from 60, back counting from 60. There is an interval of 5 kilometer each. Okay, so we can count from 60 backward as that first interval from 5, then 10, then 15, 20, 25, 30 and 35. So total distance from A to C is 35 kilometer. Now what will be the total path covered by the object? The total path covered by the object can be written as OA plus AC. OA is 60 kilometer, then AC is 35 kilometer. Total path is 95 kilometer. Okay, so this way this graph question can be solved. Okay, now student, graph questions are very important. We should learn how to read graph and how to solve it. Now reaching to the fifth question. Athlete is running along a shown path A, B, C, D, E and F. The athlete will have to change its direction 6 times. So A is the starting point. From A, okay, it's traveled along AB, then changes the direction, then traveled along BC and change the direction, and this keeps on going till it reaches again back to A. During this motion, it has 6 times changed its direction. So it will develop a hexagonal path. The question is asking which kind of path it is moving. So as it has changed its direction 6 times, so name of path we should give as a hexagonal path. Okay. Now moving to next question. The graph shown in image represent. Here we have a image of velocity time graph. But this graph we can see it, this graph shows a curved line. Okay. So clearly we can say if a curved line is there, object has non-uniform motion. But here it is velocity and time, but a ratio between velocity and time gives the idea of acceleration. That means it has non-uniform acceleration. Okay. Now see, by conceptually we can also reach over this conclusion. As it has negative slope, means a slope in clockwise direction, that gives negative slope, or negative slopes gives the idea of negative acceleration. Negative acceleration can also known as retardation. So this slope is of retardation. Okay, and which kind of retardation is? How can we find which kind of retardation it is? We can find different retardation at different points. Okay, as we draw a parallel line parallel to time axis at different point, we can find the different slope at each point. And if this slope at each points are unequal, that means object has non-uniform motion. if the slope are equal each time, that gives the idea that object has uniform motion. Okay, so we can observe at each point magnitude of acceleration are not equal. As it is not equal, so we can see this graph shows non-uniform retardation. Okay, by curve line also we can see that object has non-uniform motion. Okay, and velocity time graph gives the idea of acceleration or retardation, and distance time graph gives the idea of velocity. Okay, there is the basic two difference over there. Now in this question, image shows the motion of a moon around the earth. Which of the following statement is correct regarding the given image? So see student, the image is showing over there in which it says it is a motion of moon around the earth. As it moving around the earth, a moon is moving around the earth in circular path. So we can read this statement D, a body moves in a circular motion. So it looks this statement is correct. A body moves in a circular motion. Okay. Now if an object moves in a circular motion, moon has a fixed speed at which it is revolving around the sun. So it looks the speed of an object remains constant. Okay, the speed of an object remain constant is also a correct statement. Okay, because a planet has a fixed speed by which it revolves around a sun. Now third statement is the velocity of an object changes. Let us observe this statement. When an object moves around a circular motion, at each point the direction of motion gets changed. We can observe at every point the direction of object is changed. As the object changes, we can see the velocity of object changes. So all three statements are correct. So we can also take the all student statements are correct. Question number 8 gives the distance time graph. Distance time graph gives the idea of velocity or speed, student. Okay. Now if the line is parallel to time axis in distance time graph, what does it indicate? If we find the different point on this line, we can see the value of distance or length of path is not changing with respect to time. If the distance is not changing with respect to time, only time is changing. We can write over there distance not changing. Okay, neither it is increasing nor it is decreasing. Okay, the distance not changing, but we can see at time axis time is moving on, so time is changing. As if the distance will not change, can we say the total distance traveled by the object is 0? Or if we can also say the object do not change its distance, that means it has 0 velocity. And if object has 0 velocity, that means object is at rest. A body is at rest. So what does this distance time graph shows? A body is at rest. Okay, when it happens? When in distance time graph line is parallel to time axis. Okay. In previous question, student, in velocity time graph line is parallel to time axis was given. But in this question, it is in distance time graph. So in distance time graph, the line parallel to time axis gives the object is at rest. Okay, it shows the object is at rest. I think it is clear, student. Now in question 9, Usha swims in a 90-meter long pool. She covers 180 meter in 1 minute, going either way. Okay, so let us suppose from A Usha starts swimming to B. Okay, A to B, the length of swimming pool is given 90 meter. Usha covers 180 meter in 1 minute. So let us suppose from A to B it has swimmed. From B she revert back. Okay, and swim in opposite direction from B to A. So in that way she also covers same distance. So total length she covers will be equal to AB plus BA. That means 90 plus 90. It will become 180 meter. Okay. The length of path that she covers is 180 meter in 1 minute. But the question asks about average velocity. So when it asks that what is the average velocity, we need to find what is the initial and final position of an object. Initially Usha starts swimming from A and finally it will reach back at point A. That means we can say initial point and final point are equal. If initial and final point are equal, so we can also say the displacement traveled by the object is 0. Am I correct? As displacement traveled by the object is 0, that means no velocity, or object has 0 velocity. If velocity is 0, so average velocity will also be 0. Am I correct? So velocity is equal to displacement by time. By the formula we can also know, as displacement is 0, 0 by time gives the value of 0 as velocity. Okay.